Alright, hello and welcome back to Rome Total War 2 with me, Pew Pew Choo Choo. It's been quite a while since I've had a recording session, so I'm not really sure what exactly has been going, or what we were trying to go for last episode. But I took a look at the grand strategical map here, and I see that we still have a bit of territory before we reach the end of the world on this side. So I figured we might as well keep pushing into Germania and then into what would be essentially like Poland, for the sake of just getting rid of all of this area, and then we'll kind of swing down and come through Macedonia from the northeast-ish, I believe. So I guess we'll try to go with that. In the process, I guess we'll just kind of monitor the development of the world. I see our client state here is actually going quite powerful inside Alexandria and region, so that's kind of nice to see and know. But for the meantime, I mean, we are still occupied with this lengthy campaign inside Germania. And what I can do here is that I can actually speed up the animation so that they're a little bit faster now. So we'll get rid of that faction just like that. And I guess we'll start to rebuild a lot of the buildings present over here. And just like that, Roman development happened. So as we just kind of continue to move forward, I guess we're going to develop more and more places. I noticed that Legion number 2 is, well, they are actually our top Legion, seeing as how all of their units currently are gold veteran. They have been suffering a lot of attrition damage, so what I'm going to do here is that I'm actually going to get Legion number 3 to wipe off this settlement. And at this point, what we should be able to do is that we should be able to get Legion number 2 into the city, and then this will keep these guys present over here without suffering all too much attrition damage. So that is good. And likewise, over here, the Hispania Legion will take over this place. So yeah, we had 2 rebel settlements come up here, 2 rebellions, and this is the second one that we're going to put down. And that'll be essentially that. So, instead of pushing forward, what I could do is that I could try to battle all 3 of these armies. But it doesn't look like I can, so never mind. Yeah, there's 3 armies entrenched in there, so we will have to get rid of them sometime or another. So yeah, I have the opportunity to go into a fight here, but what I think I'll do is that I'll continue the siege, and I recall getting a tech that'll actually give us a free siege tower here. So let's see what this actually does. Pre-siege, siege tower. Oh, I think this is when you start a siege, you have the ability to build a siege tower. It's not that you gain one. Or rather gain one at the beginning of the battle. So what I think I'll do is that the construction options is one feature that we haven't checked out yet for the game. So rather than pushing forward immediately, what I think I'll do is that we'll build a siege tower, and we'll build some ladders for the sake of seeing those really present inside the game, and then we'll move on. So apart from that, what can we do here? All of our armies should be probably doing something. This one, I'll get them to finish off these 2 navies. And that should drive them away just like that, so that's perfect. And then we'll come into this list again, find another, oh, that's already that legion, so we'll find another one. And we will be really driving forward like that. So there appears to be a rebellion brewing inside that region, so I think we'll come over here to Macedonia, and then I think we'll press on to the Spartans. And all I'm trying to do here is just grab some land, push forward really in a efficient manner. So I'll see some battles next turn, that's for sure.
Ready for battle.
Legion the Alpine will stay where it is, seeing as how there appears to be a rebellion brewing over there. And inside this region, it's rather precarious in that the Egyptians have actually, inside Egypt, what has happened is that the actual Egyptians have actually been pushed away from the Nile, and I think this is actually the only tile that that really exists for the Egyptians. They actually only have one army left. Granted, it's almost a full stack, but it's the only place that they have left. And our buddies over here, our client state, has actually taken over Alexandria and this side of the Nile at least. So what we're going to be doing is that we are going to be taking over this city with the First Legion, which is exclusively made out of foreigners. And from here, we will then move forward and do some stuff. So this army, we could fight this battle, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that interesting, seeing as how the rebel army is apparently made out of camel archers and Egyptian slinger troops. So I think I'll actually auto-resolve. Oh wait, the auto-resolve options aren't too great, so I guess we will fight them. That's really strange. Yeah, the entire army seems to be made out of ranged units. So yeah, we'll just move forward from here really. It's currently like the second Friday out of the game's launch, so they apparently released a patch today updating the game with some more optimization and balancing fixes, so that's rather nice, but I've yet to download anything, so I am just going off of the assumption that we have actually not installed this new patch. I probably do need to verify my game's catch to receive it or something like that. Now let's see, the enemy will be defending, so I mean we do have that as a plus. We're fighting inside an urban town, so that will definitely make it harder for the enemy to use their ranged units. So that's a plus. Let's check out this map because this actually looks like a pretty interesting map. I've got to say they've done a really good job in doing these elaborate city maps now. Yeah, you have a nice little temple here, and it looks like we're fighting for the, I forgot what these were called, obelisks, I think, yeah. So what I think I'll do is that we are, well, they have primarily slingers and stuff like that, so they're definitely not going to be much of a threat. I'll get the dogs in the front, and I'll get our evocati, I suppose, in the back lines. Because what I want to do inside this battle is that their army is completely composed of ranged units, meaning that if I release the dogs onto their slingers, these slingers should melt away really fast, and then if I send in the Sochi equites, these guys, the equites, they should be able to just charge into the bulk of these camel archers and really demolish them like that. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Ooh, I actually really like this formation, how the dog handlers just kind of seemingly come out of the legionary squares really rather nicely. That was kind of nice. So send off the dogs, and that will send a wall of destruction towards the enemy. Oh, I found out that that the game, how it does the combat is that if you move away from an enemy unit when two units are close by, whichever unit moves takes damage to simulate a disengagement penalty. So that's kind of why we see some fights where our guys some guy just kind of dies and falls over in a short amount of time. So yeah, unleashing the dogs, you know, I've never seen camel fighters in action. Really, I'm really not sure what their bonus is in comparison to regular cavalry. So that's kind of nice to see. Send those guys in. The dogs appear to be yeah, the dogs have appeared. Oh no, wait, no, the dogs are still alive. And they appear to be chewing down through the enemy's forces quite nicely. I kind of expected the dogs to have died already, and there's actually quite a lot of them on the ground. But they are, yeah, they're doing alright for what they're worth. seeing as how the camels can probably trample all of these small dogs. I don't know. Do camels have that elephant effect where they're frightened of smaller creatures? They probably don't, from the looks of it. Yeah, it appears that the dogs have all died. So now, you know, the AI has gotten better at skirmishing since release, on the second patch at least. So what I think we have to do is we'll get our death trample inside here. So this will give us a charge benefit. And what I want to do is that I really want to brawl with all of these camel archers very, very rather efficiently. So we'll send these guys in.
Ready and waiting. Your order
and then we'll activate their trample ability for more charge speed. So they should be able to really drive in here. And they're shock cavalry, so they can't last too long inside the brawl, but they do have a nice charge. So send them in like that, and we'll pull them out into that area. And then these guys should then, the Foreign Legion should be able to come in here and sweep them up. So yeah, you just have to kind of engage these extraordinary equites to one fight and to pull them out. Ooh, elephants. That is not very good. Okay, well in that case, we're going to pull our guys back, and we'll get a small charge coming from here, and I guess it'll be a bit of a brawl inside the city now as our equites chase down all of these rebel Egyptian camel archers. So we'll get a jab right there, and we'll get another jab right here, and this one we should be able to see. Yeah, have some long pikes. These things will be really, really nice. I wonder if the terrain actually slow us down here. Just gonna scythe down all of the men here. It appears that some of our men are breaking, apparently. Where is that, though? So we'll continue to drive forward like that. The Elephante have been kind of whittled down, so we'll send our guys in before their shields break. Oh, and the elephants have died. Yeah, you do have to, when you do command the elephants, they're fairly clumsy creatures in that they have this ability for rampage, where they'll kind of be spurred up for the moment, and then they'll just essentially slaughter whatever is nearby. But the problem with the ability is that if enemy archers get onto you, you can kind of use that to your own advantage in that you can really use it to you can really use the enemies as war elephants to kill them to kill themselves, right? So as the player controlling the elephants, you do have the ability to call for your elephant riders to kill off the elephants. So that's rather neat. So let's see. Yeah, the predicted totals for this fight was like 60% of our troops would live, or something like that, and 38 losses to to 1,600. So I mean, well, that tells you just how valuable that auto resolve is when the fights are not definite. Oh wow, the hounds actually managed to get 300 kills each, so that's rather, actually, on average, yeah, one got 295 and then the other one got 305, so rather interesting. Victory! First Legion wins again, brilliant victory. And that is, well, that is going to... Oh, I see. I think we do have this new patch, seeing as how the actual looting screen is slightly different now. They lowered the conquest penalty from 35 to 25 for the occupation thing, so that's rather nice. Commander. So we'll take over the place just like that, and I see that the army of the Binamais over here, the Desert Snakes, have apparently decided to join the fray with two different armies, so we might see a force of that later on. Let's see. Minerva is doing something else. This is the only other legion that we have on call. Apparently, the gladiator troops. They will slow boat their way over there, and Vitrix apparently have also not moved, so we'll send them out as well. Over here, this is a navy group, and I guess we'll get them to move as well. So we'll get our forces over here to just kind of converge into Egypt, and I think that'll be the end of this turn. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. And apparently the Germans have decided to sally forth over here against the 12th Legion, the force that we were building siege equipment with. So we will, I guess we'll fight this battle. I guess we'll record it, and we'll see if we can cut these guys down enough so that we can just kind of take over the settlement, without actually having to engage into another siege battle again. There's a few cool things inside the game that I really haven't been able to show you guys, simply because of the fact that they're hard to show with the campaign. Namely, artillery, navy boats, and some other stuff like that. And I think, yeah, for the siege battles, what you can actually do is that you can actually mount the walls of your defender for a faction with like catapults and stuff. And those fire pits too, those like that, you can also get like giant like I don't know what they are, they'd be like stone balls and stuff like that, and you can set them on fire and you can roll them down hills too. But yeah, I really don't know how you get those for battles. These guys are sallying forth with a lot of spear levies. These guys, you know, I thought the Germanic tribes would kind of be more of a sword faction, but they actually use a lot of these spear units. They also have longbows, so that's rather nice to know. So we'll get our skirmish line to set their bolts on fire. And now I believe their hunter bows do outrange us. Do they outrange us by this much? Are they preparing to fire right now? No. Okay, so what we'll do here is that we'll wait for a little bit. I'm gonna reassemble our lines slightly, so we'll have the Gauls put up a main line of defense, and I want our other guys to actually be driving up onto the side of the enemy forces. And what I want to do here is that I want our main line to be engaged with the enemy wherever they can, of course. Oh. Gonna send off the dogs here. Hopefully they don't hit our own guys. Yeah, because I had that one game where the dogs actually, yeah, they took out a few of our own guys, unfortunately. So we'll send in the dogs. The dogs will just kind of do whatever.
Melee troops awaiting orders. Sons of Mars.
And we want our ground forces to just kind of brawl with whatever is there.
Missiles awaiting targets. Missile infantry. Velites.
And we'll send the cavalry into the back ranks of the enemy to really get rid of them. There we go. See these guys run. Just completely scythed down right there. So yeah, inside the center lines here, the auxiliary warriors are breaking. That's fine. We'll send in our actual legionary forces to just kind of sandwich them in. And over here, we should be able to maneuver our troops now. So crack the whip on wherever we can. And then for the cavalry, here is when we get the charges in.
We'll kill them all.
So like the goal for this battle is really just to try to kill as many of these guys as possible, so I'm going to try to prioritize taking down large groups of routed guys over here. And we should be able to actually drive right through the archers just like that. Yeah. And we'll get the legionary cohorts to move like that, and you know what? For added fun, what I can do here is that we can actually pick off these large groups of enemies. So I'll get that. Continue the battle here. Get that cavalry unit to do that, and what we can do So we can kind of go on a little safari here where we can manually control one group of cav and then really drive up the offensive here.